once more.
Welcome. And you can find her at Folu Storms on all social media platforms. Go to our website, www.folustorms.com. And Chef Jeff 3000 is in the building.
Yep. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for not using my last name. Thank you very much.
Jeffrey.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We have two songs to go through, actually, videos of these songs. The first is by somebody who calls herself DYO. It's Lord Africana. It's another song that you can find on Twitter right now on our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM. Check out the links to those videos and watch them yourself, the full length of them. We'll take the snippets and then we'll discuss. So share your conversations with us and your opinions.
You can send your message to WhatsApp 0809 444 0981. On Twitter, we're live at Smooth981FM. Kindly use the hashtag Grapevine981. On YouTube, we're streaming live. So please go onto YouTube /Smooth981FM Lagos.
And this is a new music video, DYO.
Point of correction, Dio.
Dio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So Dio comes with Papaya featuring Lord Africana. Listen. Why is it Dio and it's spelled DYO?
That's how she decided to pronounce Diana. You're not seeing Hebon Lua.
Studio. Max, you're up.
All right. Well, I did see the video, I have to say. I enjoyed the video. I don't know what I was expecting. It wasn't that. I think the tones of the video are just right. She looks beautiful, very sensual. It makes me actually want to watch it because it's a Nigerian sound, and sometimes when you hear this sound, there's almost like a pre-programmed image that comes into your head of unnecessary grittiness. Grittiness is great, yes, we know, but it doesn't have to be there all the time. And I think this has the right combination of sensuality and grit. I love the play of reds in the video. The color tone is beautiful, actually. That's what really struck me. So big shout out to Dio. Thank you, Jeff, for letting me know. I also thought it was DYO.
No, actually, it's Dio, and I've known about her since 2016. Actually,
wow.
jamming her in Dubai. She worked with this Swedish. She was featured on a song by a Swedish band called Naked. And the song, I don't want to use the title, but basically, it's something healing. That first word.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
But it's an amazing song. I've been jamming even till today, and it was a hit in Dubai, and also across the world actually for a while. So when I saw on her Instagram that she put out this video, I was like, okay, well, let's give it a show on the show itself, I guess. But for the video, yeah, I do quite like it actually. There are a lot of analogies as to what papaya stands for, because I was thinking to myself, wow, why would you actually pick that as the title? Because as a kid, but as a kid, you thought it stank.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though,
but
right? There are a lot of things as a child. You thought, like, ew, and then as an adult, you're like,
that's the good stuff right there, right?
That's all we want.
And she features a Ghanaian rapper on this, and it's actually from an EP that just dropped very recently. Notice that she's also worked before with Adekunle Gold, but even not just that, she's coming like the Shay route in terms of like, I'm gonna be like, I've had my foreign experience, I'm gonna try and tone it a little bit down or whatever and come with a Nigerian style of life. But she's worked with the likes of Wiley before. She's worked with the likes of Skepta, Chipmunk. These are all people from the UK scene basically, but also she's written for people like Maroon 5 as well.
Oh, really?
So to have her coming in,
that.
so definitely check out the song Naked featuring Dio. Listen to Papaya. I'm going to listen to the rest of the EP and see what it's like. I know she's in town for a little bit. I was very excited to see her last year when she was performing live. And I think that, it's going to be interesting to see what she can do.
I love this. You know what this reminds me of? This is very reminiscent of World, because I remember this is the same way it was when I first introduced World. And it's like, oh, who is this guy? I'm like, you don't know? Let me tell you. So, Jeff, thank you so much for that, guys.
Yes.
Check out Dio, DYO.
DYO.
This particular song and video is called Papaya.
Yes.
And it's delicious to
And
watch.
also check out Naked as well. That Naked featuring Dio.
Fantastic.
That's a jam.
I'm impressed. I mean, she's going to pass mark, yeah?
I'm very impressed. After Chef Jeff, I think I would go to the next song. But, like Folu mentioned, thank you so much for introducing us. I just listened to it and I thought, oh, great song. Read through the comments on YouTube and I saw that a number of people seem to know her and have liked her for a long time. To be fair, I actually thought she was an African, when I say African, not even Nigerian artist. And then her name doesn't, until you mentioned that, I was like, oh, okay, that's very clear.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that she's done that because it's given her this sort of versatility versatility. So don't classify me or don't put me in a box. I fit wherever I choose to fit. So.
And she can sing. It's not like an auto-tune kind of thing.
It's
She
clear.
actually has the chops.
She won for me. I mean, she won the aspect of curiosity. She sparked my curiosity to find out. Now that I know how to pronounce that, I'll never get it wrong. And I like the analogy you gave of fruits, papaya, and then
that papaya has a double letter.
Yeah, it was like
sweet.
triple.
All sweet.
Very smart lady. No, I just imagine what a conversation with her would feel like. Probably very
Well, why are you always
intellectually
interested in people
stimulating.
like this?
Because
With songs like this?
It's Valentine now. His day is coming up.
I'm stimulated by people's
Oh,
minds.
stimulation guy is money, please. Please move on.
All right. Eminem comes through with Darkness, a song that he did. Actually, the video is very interesting that most people do not know about the video. I didn't know that there was a video to the song, by the way. And he did this to make a political statement. Listen.
So why'd you give away the end of the video now? I'm asking Valentine. Valo, why did you give away the end of the whole video?
Sorry. Studio.
Because of
Follow.
As Valentine's giving away the whole end of the video. Listen, anyone who has known me for years will know that I've been an Eminem fan for as long as he has been on the music scene. I love this man's intelligence. I love his ability to deliver. I also love that he does make people uncomfortable in general.
Yes.
And that's whenever you come across people or situations that make you uncomfortable, that's a way for you to grow. And this video, The Darkness, is exactly just that. It is an incredibly dark video, and it takes you back almost a little bit to Eminem's early days when he would always rap about drugs and Vicodin and all these things. And people say, oh my God, what are you doing? And I remember watching the video just now and thinking, Marshall, are you encouraging people to get down this road? Please, no, the tough things are happening. But as Val said, it is a political statement, because at the end of the video, you've got this beautiful signage where it says, when will this end? And at the end of the day, it's when enough people care. And it's about registering to vote, because he narrates the story of the Las Vegas shooter. I don't know if you guys remember that last year, I believe, when 2017, when a lone gunman from a hotel room just started picking off concert goers, and that was an incredibly scary, incredibly frightening thing to happen. And when you watch him narrate what possibly could have been going through this killer's mind as the video unfurls, by the end of it I had goosebumps, actual literal goosebumps. And I thought it was powerful, and it's a reminder that music is so much more than entertainment. It really is great messaging, especially when people who have the power and the voice and the reach choose to put in certain messages into their music. And I have to say, like, Eminem has once more truly impressed me with this one. I love the video, I love the message.
I think that, apologies for my voice, it's the insomnia speaking here, but this video, it kind of has an it has a history about what exactly happened during that time frame. It shows you the whole hotel room thing, which is where the gunman was. It talks about him having a gambling attitude, because you see the cars start lying around on the table, the Valium and the alcohol that possibly might have triggered him up in some way, but nobody really knows about. Remember, the shooter was the son of a bank robber. His brother himself was arrested for charges of child images on his laptop. And he himself, they found laptops at the place they had with also child images as well on that at the same time. He talks about I like the whole Hello Doctors, my own old friend playing in the background somewhere over there, but also it talks about, if I had known who my father was, you presume that maybe I was getting this from him, but not really, because he wasn't really involved in my life. It talks about him having, it was hard to see a motive, because he was doing very well from real estate, the guy that did this. There was no note to say, okay, this is why I did this or whatsoever. And then it now ends with just other mass shootings and gunmen that are just happening over there, and it's really just a message about listen, you need to wake up and do something about gun control. And it ties in fantastically, because Virginia passed what they're trying to pass some bills right now that looks at background checks for people, 1 handgun per month. Communities can decide to ban guns on specific events, and then there's the controversial one whereby police can take the guns away from people that they are deemed to be dangerous to society.
And you see, that's the crux of the matter, because again, even in the song and the narrative and in the video, you see the reminder that because he had no prior issues with guns, he they did the basic check, which they do, which meant that he had unlimited access to these resources. And that's a very scary thing. And it's a reminder for us, even here at home, perhaps we don't have the same, we don't have gun laws like that, but I think for laws where you think. It's doing the bare minimum. As a society, we do need to be active. And I spoke about this in Freshly Pressed again, and not to make it too serious. But if we want things in our societies to change, then the citizenry have to become active, and we have to be really vocal, and we have to be involved in the lawmaking process.
Yeah, because this was the largest mass shooting in U.S. history by a sole government. We're talking about 58 dead people, 851 who were wounded. Over 400 of those were from gunfire itself. And there comes to be a point where it's like you have to realize that there has to be a change. The U.S. has to wake up and see what's happening and compare themselves with the world and make a change.
All right. Do you know, when you were speaking, I was saying to myself that, Eminem must be such a great artist that he's got us talking so deep.
Oh, yes.
I thought Freshly Pressed ended at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it's so important because one of the things that we talk about, for some songs or for some artists, is conscious music. And if this was what he was trying to do, obviously he's achieved his aim. When I watched it, when he started out, honestly, I thought, okay, poor Eminem as an artist was showing the pressure of being an artist. No, it's because the brilliance of the artistry of the video was that, and the song itself, it makes you think that it's about him or an artist, or, the pressure, and then it now changes to become the story of Stephen Paddock, who is the Las Vegas shooter, and that was sheer brilliance. On the flip side, some people have criticized the video, saying that it gives again more publicity, as it were, or talking factor for the criminal, and other shooters who people who would have the thought of doing this, the fact that they continue to talk about it, almost glorify, of course that's not what he aims to do, seems to, so that's where critics have come.
But that happened with Stan as well, actually.
And even outside of that, listen, I think those are people who are trying to ignore the problem. The problem exists. Whether or not he did a video about it, this is the reality. There are already people plotting to do this. There are already people going through this issue. Are you going to say that you're not going to address an issue for where addressing it could potentially help to solve or be part of the solution just because you're afraid that there might be some more people that will come out of the woodwork? I think that's ignoring the issue. So I hear that, and I remember, like I said, as I was watching the video, I thought, ooh, what are you doing? What's up? What's going on? So you find out what the message is. But the reality is we need to stop blaming artists, whether it's music, whether it's movies, who are telling the reality of what's happening on the ground, for encouraging people to do the same thing. That's not what's happening. They're depicting what already exists, and in this situation, very clearly saying, let's do better.
Right.
And you know what? The problem with this is that at the end of the day, you're still going to find people who are going to be like, okay, because this shooter, because this video and whatnot, this is the reason why we need more guns.
And then it's worthy of note, so in reaction to that, I guess a number of people might have complained about it. YouTube pulled it off trending, and of course when it's on trending, it improves its chances of being seen and people watching. It has over 1 million views, but a number of people criticize YouTube as well for taking it off trending.
It's actually 13,000 views shy of 16 million.
Oh wow.
And remember that he just released
16 million.
16 million.
He released it just
days.
January 17th. No announcement about the album, all right? And it was even the album itself is called Songs Be Murdered By.
Yes.
And that just tells you how deep everything is
I've had it
going in
on
that
on
direction.
playback since yesterday.
What do you think about the entire album?
Beautiful.
Is it darker than
It gets you
Darkness?
talking, just listen to it.
It's Eminem. Come on. He's our boy. Mashallah. That's
You know, Ayo likes to be like,
No, she has to live.
No, that's what I was asking you, because I know when I want to listen to it vicariously.
No,
through
you can't. You have to listen to it for real.
But the video, did we talk about the video? Actually?
Yes,
we did. Yeah.
But one resounding message from that video, really, or the song is, it's in itself, is fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, and hate leads to suffering. It's a message we need to pass across, and Eminem is just something. No wonder people regard him as a god. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more stories here on the Grapevine 981, as brought to you by Verve.
My name is Olajumoke Ladi Bello Aruajule, and you're listening to Smooth 98.1.
Oh, you're trying. Oh, is it my face you're trying to adjust?
Just that face.
For this face is not so, then
Yeah, exactly. It's more important. Yeah, so like, miss my face. They see it all the time. They start.
oh, Valentine,
No,
don't change your mind.
Valentine's mic was blocked.
It's
My yellow bag.
Valentine's
Yes,
Day
I almost
should
took
have
off the head wrap,
actually
and I was like,
been
just for Jeff.
Their Folu's
No,
mic is
it's
also
still
blocking.
there
My
now.
mic is blocking
Your watch.
Folu.
Yeah, so this is perfect. Don't worry.
All right.
Let me see.
I actually left the head wrap.
Let me see. There we go.
Perfecto.
So I have to do like this. So I think
Chilling mode. Chilling mode.
no, I'll raise it up.
Finally, it's your turn.
But naked, Neikid, featuring that.
Okay, so someone's drawn the similarity
Yeah.
with Stan.
Yeah.
So I think we got this one.
Pressure first.
From
Going to remind them.
Rotos.
Oh, he's listening.
Them of the channels. WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook.
Are you serious? It's not almost over.
Yeah, you
Joe.
mentioned-
Oh, wow, because that's where your own segment is over.
No such a.
Wow.
How come you like that? How come it's not about triplets today.
Oh,
It's
God.
about how you almost gave me decaf.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
I'm
know
really
that.
surprised that that's not the first thing you said when you came in here. I was
Drink
expecting
coffee.
A
that.
coffee.
Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear a joke? Decaf. That is all.
Oh, we got two people laughing.
He said decaf is the joke. It really is. Lol.
Lol. I don't know which is worse, lol or lamal.
They're just as bad as each other. Lamau.
The Lamar, I think it's worse. I think
So extreme
Lamau.
cases.
even the name itself is not even nice.
Is Tiwa should grow her hair back natural. I beg, it suits her.
Tiwa,
Oh,
yeah, that short hair is not working.
You know,
Oh,
I love
really?
it. I love it. I think it's so cute.
It's nice.
It looks like she's going back to her natural texture.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
I'm like, just don't listen to them. They're going to tell you to pay me. Don't do it.
Folu, I didn't see you again at that premiere, like after.
Because I left
you.
you.
Have you?
Wasting my damn time.
I would also like to
I was
point
so
out.
annoyed.
It was going on and on.
I would
and
like
on
to
and on.
point out that I was not invited for that premiere.
I wasn't inviting anybody because it wasn't my show.
Yeah, it was people that
I
just
want
sent
smooth people.
personal message.
It wasn't any smooth thing.
No, It
Okay.
was bad boys. It was so many solutions.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you know, since one time I'd been there and I even came late. That's the thing. Even when I come late to things, I'm
And
still
they still
in.
haven't started.
I showed up
Yeah,
at
they were
7
doing all
o'clock.
these
You told me the
paparazzi
thing was
things
almost
and
to
like-
8. So
Dude.
told me 8:45 is when they said they were going to show. I left. I was like, no, don't do
Did
that.
you leave within 10 minutes?
No.
No.
I stayed longer than 10 minutes. Thank you. I
Okay, we're
waited
coming back.
almost a
I
full
would have
hour.
timed.
I know you would have.
Glad to know you're still there. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. This show is called the Grapevine 981 and is brought to you by Verve. In the studio with Ayo.
And Valentine
Thank you.
Ohu.
Wow. We have Folu Storms in the studio.
Morning, Lagos.
Folu plugin.
Oh, hi. Good
Again.
morning. Good morning, Lagos.
Yes.
Is that no? Okay, just I'm
Your
on
handles?
social media as
Yeah.
Folu Storms.
What do you do?
I'm an actor.
Uh-huh.
I'm a host.
Unmarried.
Please, yeah.
There's excitement.
I have a new TV series. It's called Unmarried, and it shows on Wednesdays actually. So tomorrow, just sit down,
channel?
get ready, at 9 p.m. 151 African Magic Showcase.
If you want to
And big shout out to people that have been sending me like clips watching it. My sister is gathering blackmail material. She says,
exactly. I was going to look at your face.
which I
to
find
say
so
that.
fascinating. Quite a few people, I think on Saturdays as well, they do like longer reruns. Are now jumping onto it. So yes, there's a lot of drama. If you haven't caught up with the drama, listen. I personally actually love the story. Forget that I'm in it. I think it's such an interesting story and it's such a real one. So
I heard he kissed the guy.
Yeah, she did. It wasn't me. But
I don't know about me. I know that the character Kamzi
Oh,
has a
wow.
husband
Okay.
in the show.
Legally
And what
married.
Kamzi and her husband are doing is their business.
what have you ever done for me in your life?
And that's Chef Jeff.
I love the shoulder action with that, Jeff. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so guys, catch the show. It's on tomorrow at 9 p.m.
That's good. That's really good. Lagos, join the conversation by sending us messages on WhatsApp 0809-444-0981 and on Twitter.
At Smooth 981 FM, use the hashtag Grapevine 981. We're streaming live on YouTube. Search for us, Smooth 981 FM Lagos.
So yeah, they just cast me aside. Didn't,
No, we didn't. We mentioned you, Chef Jeff.
Just
You didn't
cast me
allow him
aside
to
just
call
like
you.
that.
Yeah,
Just
but let's talk about the kiss.
Wow. See how we get Drille? It's a problem.
Chef
We need to
Jeff,
focus. These
let's talk
2020.
about the Screen Actors Guild Awards.
Yes,
You know-
the SAG Awards.
Yes, please. What got me really excited was the part where what's her name? Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
Yes.
Brad
I was
Pitt
gonna say
backstage.
that is actually what made me go back to look up what happened at the Screen Actors Guild Awards. They're always interesting. I think it's so beautiful when you have the actors community coming together to celebrate one another and people who have done exceptional work. Listen, outstanding lifetime achievement award to Robert De Niro, and I personally
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
oh Bobby, we
Yeah,
love you.
so deserved. So deserved.
So very well deserved. So very well deserved. That was a very exciting thing to see. There are quite a few major movies that picked up great wins. Some movies that I didn't know about. That I'm very interested to see in series.
I mean,
Big shout out to Joker, obviously.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, definitely for best actor and best actress, I've been in line with that one for sure. All right.
So yes, outstanding performance by male actor Joaquin Phoenix got that one for the Joker. A number of other worthy mentions. Adam Driver, Marriage Story, and I think that is actually up on Netflix. So I
Yes,
do need
it
to
is.
check that out.
Well, you need to see it.
They've
It's
been
very
talking
good.
about it. Christian Bale was nominated as well, and I miss watching Christian Bale on my TV or in movies. I don't know why I haven't
Yeah,
seen
he's
him
taken
recently.
like a back role for a little
Yes,
bit of time now.
but he was nominated for a role in Ford versus Ferrari, so perhaps that's something some other people may want to go check out. Lupita was nominated as well for outstanding performance by a female actor, and that was in the movie Us. Scarlett Johansson was there as well. Cynthia Erivo was nominated in that same category for Harriet. Now, Cynthia is someone that maybe not a lot of people may know, but she is a phenomenal singer, actor on stage and screen. And if
Middle
you
name
follow her-
Chinasa.
Yes, she is. She's.
I've been singing. I
incredible.
have been singing stand up
Incredible.
on a daily basis because that song is just amazing. Like the writing that she does, her delivery, and then you now see. I mean, I'm really, really proud of her. I'm not too sure that she has high chances of winning, but she's already won. in
Yes,
some
no,
ways.
it's awesome. And then, of course, talking about the images that got everyone talking about the Screen Actors Guild Award, seeing Brad Pitt win Outstanding Male, or is it Supporting
Supporting
Male?
Actor, yeah.
Supporting, yes. And then Jennifer Aniston winning Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a drama series for
The morning
Winner.
show.
And I think a lot of people started asking, oh, if your ex left you and came back like this, would you like be friendly?
Yeah.
And I love that they're mature enough to talk, to laugh about things. And maybe they don't talk in everyday life, but they see each other. I love that when she was receiving her award, he was backstage watching to see how she got it. I thought that was a beautiful thing. Yes, do we still miss Jennifer and Brad?
Yeah.
Because I still feel that what happened was
Although I
so
don't
uncalled
remember how
But,
the
you know, the
chemistry was
thing
played
is-
out. Like,
what do you mean? You don't remember?
The thing
I was
is-
Scarface the wall. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
just
kidding.
exactly.
The couple of the
What
century.
of the
But-
act? I will never forget when the news came out. They separated. I actually ran to my father's room. I was like, "Dad, Brad
it's
Pitt
like-
is broken up with Jennifer Aniston, and may have a chance." and then they started laughing, which I didn't really appreciate. Just
But
like
you know,
guys are laughing now.
but even when they had split up, you have to bear in mind that they still had. I don't know if they still do, but they still had a production company that they were running together, and they were putting some quality movies out there at the same time. So I feel like it's a bit like even Courtney Cox and the ex David. All right, they still get along with David Arquette. Yeah, they're divorced now, and they still get along very well with each other. There's no issues. They had a little bit of catfighting in Scream 3, but by Scream 4 everything was okie dokie, and just let's all do this together. We get along. We've had our issues. We're friends now. That's really it. So I love those sort of
We're
stories.
friends
Yeah.
now.
Even when it's the
Jennifer
exes.
Aniston and- sorry,
Or when it's the ex and the present wife. When you look at, for instance, Jada Pinkett and Cherie
Love that.
as well.
Blended family stuff.
Yeah.
But can I just say, guys, if you have not seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, you are on a long thing.
I still
Please.
haven't. I keep
I
skipping
haven't
It
it.
is
see that.
one of the best comedy series I've watched in such a long time. It is so refreshing. It is so interesting. The lead actor, let me get her name properly because I'm about to completely destroy her name. Her name is Rachel Brosnahan. She's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I think it's such a great show. So if you can catch up with that, do. Big shout out to all the winners at the Screen
Yeah.
Actors Guild Awards.
It was
I
nice
look
to see
forward
Jamie
to
Foxx nominated
the
too.
Nigerian
Actually,
Actors
because
Guild.
we'll get that. But
just-
Jamie's had a hard time, like maybe having like one or two good things in the movie scene. But ever since that Academy Award double thing that happened to him, he kind of overpriced himself, and it just was not really
Do you think
sort
that's
of
what it
same.
is?
Well, well, I think so. I mean, it's a bit more than that, to be honest. But I think that's an additional factor there. But well, we'll see.
All
But
right.
I think that definitely with this going on, with the likes of Laura Dern picking out the best actress and also the supporting category as well. It's really interesting because you kind of think that, is this the direction that it's going to go with the Academy Awards coming up, or will we see a twist?
Usually, the SAG is usually an indicator of what to expect at the Academy Awards.
Word for word, what I was going to say. Word for word.
But even goes up on the heels of the Oscars. Like this movie, Parasite. That was the winner for the outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. Still got awards, not one, at the Oscars.
Though this now reminds me of that I woke up this morning with somebody putting out a message saying, Nigeria, get ready. Burna Boy is going to come home with this Grammy. I said, wow. So that's that energy. Let's just put that in there. So let me share it. I like the energy. I was just like, I wasn't expecting it this Tuesday.
All right. Well, Taya from Yaba says, Chef Jeff is on the roll. What's really cooking? And then it goes, Collins Inner says, look, I don't care if it was Folu or Kamsi that kissed the guy. I will find the guy and I will ... him.
Wow.
Always have a stand. And then Big E from Katie says, Phoenix for Joker all the way. He murdered the character. He should just take all the Oscars home. We all should put a happy face. And it's Eminem, and this Eminem comeback in this era of Malian no manners. I don't know, Sham. I don't know.
No, don't
not
put those two names in the same.
Just free the story. Thank you.
Please. Who's anxious about Instagram, putting a cap on photoshopped images instead of going to be labeling them false information? I know a few handles that probably have their pictures labeled like that.
Let's give you the gist. What's going to happen is Instagram are going to implement a new feature that will be able to detect when a photograph has been tampered with, and it will be labeled with false information. Now, it's a warning message that will be added to the post. They're not going to completely hide it. They're not going to stop you from putting it up, but they are going to let people know. And I think this is because there have been a series of posts and videos that have come out that have led people to question, is it real? Is it not real? Where's this coming from? And that's an important thing. And with Instagram and Facebook being connected, and obviously Mark Zuckerberg having gone through so many issues with Facebook, and they're verifying information, the veracity of what's being put out, what's being advertised. I think this is a very important thing to look at. Obviously, the internet, as much as we didn't grow up with the internet, younger generations did grow up with the internet, but we are seeing an incredible evolution in the way technology is being used, and laws must develop, and user practices must develop to meet up with that. So I think it's a responsible step that Instagram are taking to be able to help differentiate for users when things are genuine or otherwise. The same way WhatsApp had to start letting you know when messages were forwarded messages, so that you don't go around thinking, well, this person has genuinely sent me this, or this is 100% verified. You can't verify something. Some things really are just forwarded messages. So I think it's good.
But
I think it's fantastic.
So just to lead into your conversation, is it more inclined towards the psychological effects it's had on people, or just
real life effects?
You have to bear in mind. Listen, we've got very young impressionable minds. We were once young impressionable minds. You think about days of fishermen who being the fashionable thing to be wearing and kangos and whatnot. So that's what's going to happen with the next generation. So what they see, especially in this visual, social media age, they start to pick up on. All right, you got all these people who jump off some stupid show like X on the Beach or Love Island, and then next they're personal trainers promoting something. There's this one that was tricked into promoting a drink that had cyanide in it, and she didn't even know what it was. And at the same time, she confessed that the slimming tea that she promoted, she had never taken in her life. She was caught on video. All right, and you have those people now being called out. And I'm loving the work of James Smith. Shout out to that guy, because he's been pushing a lot about all these social fake people. So that Instagram is taking this stance right now. You get to see what's real and what's not, and have a more discernible mind, as opposed to just being fed lies all the way. Because a lot of what you're seeing is just lies.
I feel like people should be free to show their flabby stomach on Instagram. Why not?
They're just not free. They don't Photoshop thing is. That's the issue.
People are free to.
And outside of that, you have to think there's so many more sinister applications. We have wars going on in different parts of the world, and people are editing photographs and putting them up there and claiming it's from one part of the world where it's not, and that's dangerous. That causes violence. That's actually inciting violence. So it's very important for Instagram to take this step.
Brilliant. Now, Iox says, still don't know why Avengers didn't win anything. Eminem is the jury.
No, but
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they
did. Endgame won. I think
choreography.
Yes, action. Yes.
Now, as hated as much as you might, you can't fault some of the acting and some of the action scenes that were in Game of Thrones. So
no, it's fantastic.
yeah,
It
well,
was
no,
great.
the last season was terrible,
Oh,
but
okay.
but from the perspective of the action scenes and the acting as well, obviously the awards that it won, they deserve the props on that
Well,
People
won
take
basis.
an
this
award
thing too
for the,
personal. I've still not watched the
stunt
final
ensemble.
season. I'm sure when I watch it, I'll be happy with this.
You will
Do you know
probably-
why?
Right.
Because no pressure. Ha, ha, ha,
Thank
ha,
you.
That's
Well,
why.
Thank you. Actually, that's the least time I
Well,
want
you
to
say
watch a
that
series.
now, but okay.
I'll let you know how I feel when I watch
Mhm.
it.
The next time, if I start out of the studio and I hear somebody say anything about the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, I'll probably not watch it. But
I'm
I'll
just
go.
saying
I'll
to
go
watch
see
it.
it
No, I'm going to
because you
see it.
said.
I'm helping your life.
Yeah,
That was all.
I will.
That's the one I will see.
Yes.
But
you
I like
should.
the fact that Peter Dinklage, going back to the awards, the SAG Awards, Peter Dinklage won the outstanding performance by male actor in a drama series.
Yes.
So that's cool. Everybody in the studio, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't have anything to worry about the Instagram move or the new policy.
Speak for yourself. Ha.
Thank you very much.
Ha.
I'm
Please.
really glad.
This
you're-
gym I'm going to every day. You don't know. You gotta be tired one day. I should Photoshop something.
In fact, I channeled that energy that you passed across on Instagram the other day. When I got to the gym, I told myself,
Good.
this too shall pass.
Yes, this we shall
One
pass.
step for Val, the next step for man. Let's
That
keep
is.
going. Now, Johnny Drille got a shout out from John Bellion. It was a long time coming. Although we had indications at the last concert that he had John Bellion's number. He first teased the collaboration last year. He put up a post on Twitter, teasing John Bellion. Everybody has been saying that they're going to make a good pair. But on Saturday, January 18, 2020, Johnny Drille's favorite American singer, John Bellion, gave him a shout out on Twitter. He wrote, "Johnny Drille, the truth." And Johnny Drille replied with all these
That's right.
emojis.
Emoji. And I'm sure he first did a breakdance before he replied back. I think the bromance is very cute.
Yes.
This again is a reminder of whatever you want to happen in your life, you must be bold enough to take a step and take actions towards it. And Johnny has done that. He's done that over the years. He's reached out to John Bellion. He's been very clear about liking his stuff. And because in his own right, he's been doing the work on himself, on his music, on his brand. So he's got to that level where John Bellion does want to collaborate with him, does want to, prop him up, because this is an artist who's doing great things in a country that he's never been to, and probably was a country that's just on his peripheral. And I think it's a very cool thing to see. So let this one be a reminder to everybody that sat down and thought, oh, I would love for this to happen, but you've made zero moves towards it. It doesn't matter who laughs. It doesn't matter who says that's ridiculous. Tomorrow you two could be tweeting that, oh, Diddy said, what's up? Look at that.
That's right.
I mean, we've already seen the Lil Wayne saying he wants to come to Nigeria
Exactly.
video going on.
Yeah.
But back to Johnny Drille. I mean, Johnny, I kind of really just love his story. Like, this guy comes across as being someone who's thankful every day for every
Yes.
blessing that's been able to
Yeah.
get this far and reach this level of success. And he comes across as just being a humble person. That's just pretty much what it is. And definitely, I mean, he can cross genres. That's one thing about him. So definitely, if he were to do this with John Mayer, that would be a fantastic thing. I would love to see for sure. Because I mean, this is all about being I'm on an all-time low, 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 low. I mean, come on, that's a jam, man. And yeah, this should be interesting to see. Let's see how it goes. But of course, everything depends on their schedules, right? Yeah.
But I think it's interesting to see that we've seen more international collaborations. We're almost getting to a point where we're no longer surprised when we see.
Do they know who we
artists.
Yeah, but they need to
You-
make
exactly.
sense. But they need to make sense at the same time, because
Which one?
sometimes these collaborations are for Nigerian people are supposed to be
Oh,
for the
we're
world.
giants.
No, but that's also
come on.
but that's also art. I think you'll play with it. Sometimes it'll work. Sometimes wah, wah.
Let me tell you, like if you're expecting Malian music from this
No.
Dio song I talked about from 2016,
No.
you're not gonna get it. You're not gonna get it.
No, no,
Alright,
no,
so
no.
I was gonna actually say that John Legend is in Nigeria, according to sources. We
Ha.
reviewed his song last
John, no, no,
John,
no, no,
where
no, no.
are you,
Slow down.
sir?
Who?
John Legend is
Nigeria.
around.
Yeah,
Ha,
he was- he
where's my
played that
phone?
this award last
Let me
night.
be
Yeah, we didn't
messaging
know.
some people.
Actually, Nigerians knew
Please
because
stop
his wife
disturbing me. I'm
tweeted
focusing who I'm
And-
that,
messaging.
oh, I should have been with
Follow-
John in Nigeria.
message
People
quickly,
now started
please.
looking. Let me even tell you what social media now said. Somebody now tweeted yesterday that one man now invited John Legend for his girlfriend's birthday. Look at my life. Nigerians can't lie. He came for this day
I'm sure I saw it on
awards,
Twitter.
25th
Yeah.
anniversary. And when I saw it, I was like,
No.
Like,
Invited him to
what
the
were you
birthday
doing?
after.
We reviewed the song last week. Why is he not here today?
Sorry, hang on.
Why is John Legend? Why are we not here?
John Legend is cool and all, but did he come with Chrissy?
No, he didn't. That's what she was saying. That
Uncle,
she
please. You are not going to break out that marriage. You might
Crazy.
just sit down there first
No.
of
I'm
all.
not interested in breaking
Second
anybody
of all,
up.
please, I need more deets as to where this guy is, because this is like my best male
Jeff,
artist
don't
here. I
worry,
just
we're
need
going
Brandy to
find
now
him
be added into
together.
the
You
picture.
people just wait.
All right.
When you see the snapshots,
It's like, you know,
Jeff
to
and
be
I-
on the quotes and
Bookie,
give it to
Bookie,
everybody
I'm
this morning.
calling you.
Excuse me, don't disturb me. You don't
Bookie,
know
I'm
what's
calling you.
possible.
Yes, you're getting a shout out this
You
morning.
don't
I'm
know what's
calling
possible.
you.
You don't know what's possible.
It
Please.
was so
mean,
low key. So I
what?
look forward to a collab. Hopefully, and obviously there are many other artists who perform performed on stage last night. I hope there was some form of connection, what's it called now? Networking. And hopefully we see a collaboration with our Nigerian brother.
Please. Right now, I'm just like thinking which hotel to check first.
All right, guys. So I hate to describe him this way, but no, I won't even bother. Safari Samuels is married, by the way.
Who is that?
My thoughts exactly.
Is that Nicki Minaj's former?
Oh, right. Okay.
He has a name. He has an identity.
But who is
He used
he?
to be a singer. Used to be a rapper.
Used to be.
You're even describing somebody.
Okay.
Apparently.
What is he now?
When your listener send you a message to ask you a question.
This is all about baby when I used to love you.
That's it.
Hey!
Oh,
John is
there's
listening.
actually a bun in the oven. The
What?
wife is pregnant, Erica Mena.
And the wife is who?
Erica Mena.
And she's
They were
Who's
both in
that?
love and
who's
hip hop.
that?
Oh, guys.
Okay,
So
sorry.
Okay,
so
sorry.
rude.
Sorry.
You know what? We're done.
And there was
Okay.
silence. Let's tell you what Boston said for
You don't want to talk about Meghan and
I
Nari.
know.
Wow.
Boston
Let's-
says the way you're speaking, right?
Yes.
The way you sound is making him fall in love.
Oh, Bosu. That's
Yeah,
nice.
but they're still in love. Yes, Meghan and Harry,
That's
by
nice.
the way. So
Just to say, just my 2 cents on this whole royal situation is I don't understand why people are losing their minds over this. Harry has been a roadman from time. All of this behavior is very typical of Harry, and I think he's always been an independent-minded royal. He's always done what he wanted to do. When he was going off to war, he was criticized heavily, and then when he came back, oh my God, such a hero, oh, such a man of the people. When he was marrying Meghan, same thing. Oh, I got to marry a black woman, it'll never happen, and then he's doing that. The press in general, especially the British press, needs to lay off. Their Royal Highness titles have not been stripped from them. They've simply put them aside because they're not representing the Queen, and that's all there is to that. And I wish them all the best of luck.
And I'm
All the
going to
best.
say that they are being bullied by the likes of Piers Morgan and
Piers Morgan is a bully,
like
though. He
the
is a bully.
Daily Mail will put out an article about how avocado benefits you, and then they will do an article whereby they're like, is Meghan's avocado eating fueling murder in the world? Then somebody put up an article of how that before Harry was wearing his uniform, now he's been demasculated into wearing suits
Please,
because of
and
Meghan.
can I say, of all the people that should be involved in this hateful attack on both this couple, Piers Morgan is the last human
Seriously,
being on this earth.
honestly.
He was personally involved
In
in
the
the
phone- in the
demise
hacking,
of
yeah.
Diana. So he really, really, really ought to just keep quiet. That's what really ought to happen. I think it's disgraceful that decades later, when you were so instrumental in what a tortured life his mother went through,
You're doing
and
the
partly
same.
you're back
Doing
here
the same
again.
thing. And I'm telling you,
and he's been allowed to do all
it is
this
bullying.
in the
It is
open.
bullying, and there are elements of racism no matter
Of
what.
course.
So many times I read the
Absolutely.
comments and I just get my heart starts beating because I want to grab a stamp and just label people racist on
I'm
their
very,
foreheads.
very proud of
Because I don't understand anything that's going on with the press over there. It is terrible. And every day I just picture her just wake up in the morning crying, and I feel bad for her. Especially when when she did that interview where they're like, "Thank you for asking if I'm okay," because nobody has ever actually done
Exactly.
that.
So imagine what she's been going through.
Yeah.
Mary's a bad babe, don't worry.
I
He's
love
here
it.
for
Megan, we
you.
stand with you.
Harry,
We love you.
We're here for you.
Harry,
Sorry,
keep it
just
up.
one last point.
Yeah.
For those who are saying that it's Meghan's fault, if you watch his recent speech at
Yesterday,
the charity,
yes.
he mentioned that I made the decision on behalf of my family, and so for those, they never want to accept the fact that he has a mind of his own.
No.
Anybody
and he
saying
actually
it's
did
Meghan's
this.
fault.
He's
It's
not
just
even
today
in-
they started following the royal family. And my friend keeps
He's not even in line. He's not even next in line for the throne. Like, what are you all
He's not even
throwing
interested.
everything? What's that all about?
Like Ayo and I were talking about this morning, what he did is reminiscent of abdicating the throne.
If
If he ever had a
actually
chance.
yeah.
I mean, he has a chance to see. There's no, let's
Well
not,
done.
Well,
see anything can
There's some
happen.
British people that will say
Anything can happen.
1,000.
Thank
Oh
you.
yes, no,
So
the list
if
goes
you're-
far. Yeah, the
if
list
you're
goes
like
far.
number
Yeah.
5, you're like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
close, innit? So
Yeah, there's some lady somewhere 350 something. Find me at Chef Jeff 3000 on Twitter and Instagram, and give us a follow. Let's get interactive and have some chat, okay? And I will be right here on the Grapevine next week on Smooth 98.1.
yes, as usual, I'm still on all my social media platforms as Folu Storms. I'm Snapchatting a lot more, but also you can catch me on your television screens on African Magic Showcase 151. It is a TV series called Unmarried, and you really want to watch that one. It's dope.
All right, Lagos. Thanks to my mom. Actually, I told her I promised I was going to give her a shout out because she was one who remembered that today was 1 year. Today's my 1 year anniversary at Smooth.
Ooh,
Congratulations.
Shout out to my mom. Thank you, mommy.
I've been here how many, 6 years now or so? I don't remember what day it was.
And the mic goes
Yeah, furniture now,
down.
sorry.
The Grapevine 91 was brought to you by Verve.
Grapevine on this.
I mean, I'm literally the oldest person.
So tell me your date.
I don't know. I have to calculate the date, the Wednesday that Shadi
Yes.
Ladipo was trying to rake me if I didn't join the show. That's when it happened.